Hello fellow celiacs. In today's episode, I want to talk tips for survival in the real world. If you haven't already watched the first 2 episodes, you can do that here and here. Now, if you have, you hopefully have a pretty good understanding of how to safely feed yourself post-diagnosis. You have a routine at home and confidence that you're well on your way to feeling better now that you're eating the proper diet. All that is about to change. All the places you used to go to just grab a quick bite now have to be scrutinized, even if you think they're safe. It's not as much of a post-apocalyptic wasteland as it used to be out there, but you're still going to have some difficulties with eating away from home. You'll eventually want to get a handle on where all of the good gluten-free options are around where you work or go to school, but until you do, you should make sure you have some snacks on hand, and potentially bring your own lunch with you, at least until you know what's out there. Think about it like you're mounting an expedition into the wilderness. You wouldn't go hiking without snacks, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. Now, the good thing about bringing your own food is that it's also thrifty. You can buy everything ahead of time and pack several days worth of snacks if you want. This way, you don't have to leave your desk at work and go spend money on impulse items when you're hankering for a snack. What I like to do is buy several of these Go Macro bars, several sticks of gluten-free jerky, some plantain chips or corn chips, whatever's certified GF, maybe a couple pieces of fresh fruit, and then I pack it all with me when I go to work on Monday mornings and I keep it in my locker all week. You may not have a locker, but maybe you have a desk where you can keep it all. If none of these options apply to you, just make sure whatever bag or purse you bring with you has some kind of snack in it. Some of you probably do this already. Once you're out there and armed with snacks and/or your homemade lunch, it's time to do some reconnaissance. Because the options have gotten much better at typical drug and grocery stores, you might find that you have something nearby that has gluten-free options. I just happen to work right above an organic grocery store where I know there's at least something I can eat. When I go there though, there are plenty of things to keep in mind. Any prepared foods or salad bar and hot bar items should be avoided. There is just way too much risk of cross-contamination in a place like that, with shared prep stations and people dipping spoons and serving utensils in the food. So instead, search for packaged items and certified GF logos, or just go to the produce section and grab some fresh fruit. Eventually, you're going to want lunch, something hot and tasty. Maybe you've been working hard all morning and you haven't had time to think, and suddenly there's that first hunger pang. Again, this is the worst state of mind to be in when searching for safe foods. You'll probably be tempted to just do the simple thing and open up Seamless and order some unsafe food. This is precisely why I bring my lunch with me to work. Of course, I'm lucky enough to have a refrigerator and a microwave in the break room. If you don't have these options, bring a sandwich on some of that gluten-free bread you found, preferably something that won't spoil, like peanut butter or almond butter. Now, I know sometimes you just need something more substantial than nut butter on crumbly gluten-free bread. This is when it pays off to do some research ahead of time at the restaurants around your workplace or school. Knowing in advance is better than having to make a snap decision in a frantic, hangry state. You may find that there is a 100% gluten-free restaurant near you that you had no idea about, or you might find something close to it. There's an app called Find Me Gluten-Free that's basically Yelp for celiacs. Go download it now. It's free and there's a web version as well. I've linked to it in the description below. This app is a great place to start, if only to get an idea of what is out there. You should definitely take the comments with a big old hunk of salt though, taking into consideration that there's no way to know the full extent of someone's experience, and theirs is a singular one at that. The testimony of a single individual can't possibly be representative of the entire picture. It represents what was happening on the particular day they went to that restaurant. Things change, management changes, menus change, employees turn over. Always double check everything. Triple check if you have to. If you found something, it looks enticing, it has good reviews, but there's that one person who says they got sick so you're unsure, just email or call the restaurant and ask if they can accommodate you. I've gotten great results this way. There was a time I was looking for gluten-free pizza near me, and I found a place, but I wasn't sure. The thing about pizza restaurants is that they'll often do both gluten and non-gluten on the same prep surfaces, and since pizza ovens are generally expensive, they might even cook them in the same spot. I emailed that place and got an almost immediate response. They told me the owner himself had celiac and trains his staff to avoid cross-contamination. I ate there and I didn't get sick. And now I have a new place I can confidently order from. Remember, restaurants want your business. And the more of us celiacs that order from them, the more incentive they're going to have to win over our trust. Beyond Celiac, formerly the National Foundation for Celiac Awareness, even offers a gluten-free training program for restaurant staff. And they're not the only organization doing this. Awareness of our disease and its dietary requirements are increasing all the time. For more info on eating out at restaurants, I have an entire episode on how to approach eating out as a celiac, right here. Now, you may not always have such luck. It's always possible that you'll get sick from eating out. If you eat somewhere and the next day you don't feel so well, don't despair. Don't shut yourself down and don't get discouraged and vow to stay inside for the rest of your life. It happens to all of us. In fact, I've got a whole episode devoted to what I do when I get glutened right here. So make sure to check those out, like and subscribe, and remember, there is life after gluten.